everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today I have a regular Project Life video for you, and it's going to be week 6. I'm currently subscribed to Ali Edwards Story Kits, and I'm going to be using the numbers kit for this week. I always plan on using the kits for one of my weeks in my Project Life. So this one is going to be all about numbers. I've already got most of my photos printed off and have picked out my cards from the story kit. In the kit there are these big white, almost clear numbers. I'm going to be using the number 4 up there on that top photo. The photo is of me in the car dropping the kids off in the morning to catch the bus. This particular week we had a lot of rain almost every day, and sometimes it would just rain all day. And we had 4 completely rainy days, and so that's why I wanted to use the number 4. And I had put some journaling onto my photo in Photoshop before I printed it off, and it talks about the rain that week. I've already gone ahead and put a few embellishments on the number 4 there, and also stapled it on to my photo. And now I'm going to spell out the words rainy days. I've picked out some white letters. I believe they're from Ali Edwards, and I'm going to tuck it right underneath, well, in between my journaling and the number 4. During the week, I wanted to take this particular photo because I was constantly driving the kids to school in the morning because it was raining, and most of the days I would pick them up. So I was at the bus stop a lot that week. So I wanted to make sure to document that. While I am putting my letter stickers on, I want to talk about the title card up there in the corner. It is a card that comes in the story kits, and I can't remember the name of them. And I went ahead and put my dates on a label using my date stamp, and then once that was done, I put it on to the title card. And I really liked the saying, so I wanted to make sure I used it, and it says, "Don't count the days, and make the days count." The card also has some greens and pinks that went really well with my photos, so I was really happy that it all came together really nicely. There's a closer look of the finished photo for you, and now I'm going to move on to this filler card here. I just love this circle pattern with all the numbers on it, and I'm going to cut it down to a 3x4 size. And after I cut it down, I'm going to use one of the chipboard numbers that comes in the kit, and I'm going to put it over the number 5. Since we are working with numbers here, I'm going to add this white number 2 onto the photo of the 2 kids in the tub. They like to go out and play in the rain, and one afternoon they did, and they were soaking wet, and then they wanted to go and play in the tub together. So I told them that they could put their swimsuits on, and they also grabbed their goggles and had a great time in the tub together. On the photo, I added a digital stamp from Kelly Stamps that says, "Man, I love you." And so the whole thing says, "Man, I love you too." As I was talking, you'll see that I went ahead and used my ruler on that blue card, the one that says by the numbers. I was measuring out how much room I had to work with. I'm going to put a photo there, and I wanted to make sure I got it the right size. I also printed another photo of my husband that I turned black and white, and we'll talk more about that later. And this one that I'm cutting up now is the photo that I'm going to put on that card. But as you'll see, it is a little bit too big. So it doesn't fit quite as good as I wanted it to on the card. So I ended up printing it again. I'm thankful to have a printer at home that I can just reprint it. It's no big deal. This particular photo has some fun journaling on it. What I did was I kept track of a few things that happened during the week, and I added it on to this photo here. I'll go ahead and read some of the things that I put on there. It says 6 loads of laundry on Monday, 1 drive-through ice cream run, 4 loads of laundry on Tuesday, 12 loads of dishes, 10 spelling tests given, 2 afternoons playing in the rain. And now I'm going to look through my stamps and see if I can't find something to go on top of my journaling there. So I'm looking through them and seeing if I can find something that says currently or this week, something along those lines. I find one that says these days, and it's the right size. I'm going to grab my stamp pad and my ink and go ahead and get it stamped onto the photo there. Now that I've got my stamping done, I'm going to go ahead and pick out a star to go on here. I'm going to look through and see if I can't find something that matches, and I grabbed this yellow one, and it's the perfect size and the perfect color. So I'm going to go ahead and put my stars back and set that card aside for now. At this point in my process, I am going to do some embellishing on a couple of the cards. And this one, I have a tiny little word strip that I'm going to put on top of my journaling onto this photo. And this photo was from a night where we did a game that the girls like to do. Actually, all the kids like to do. It's where they go and hide some of their stuffed animals in the dark, and then we all have flashlights and we have to go find them. And so I took a photo of one of the kids with their face lit up. I'm sure that sometime soon they're not going to be wanting to play these night games, and so I wanted to make sure I captured that. And I'm going to move on to this filler card here, the one that has all the numbers on it. And I wanted to spell out the word us because there is 5 of us. And so I grab a little label and put some of these pink letters on there, and also work with that little star that I have. I'm trying to figure out the best spot for it. I wasn't happy with the small label that I had, so I'm going to go ahead and grab my stamps, and these ones are from Kelly Stamps, and I'm going to make a larger label. So I'm going to get my stamp pad out and go ahead and stamp a couple out so that way I can use it on this card here. I stamped it out 3 times to make sure that I got a good one that I could use. And now I'm going to go ahead and cut it out with my scissors. This label is going to end up being better than the smaller one, and the letters are going to fit on it better. And so I'm just going to go ahead and put the card together here. Okay, I've got my filler card all done, and I'm going to go ahead and place a few embellishments on the cards now. I've got this black strip that says life, and it repeats the word life, and so I'm going to go ahead and glue that on there onto my numbers card. I'm just going to go ahead and cut the excess off. This black strip really gives a little pop of black to that card, and I really like how I do have pops of black all over my spread. It's a good balance of all the colors. I'm going to move on to this 4x6 card that I have here. It's actually part of Noah's spelling test that I saved, and I just went ahead and cut it up into a 4x6 size, and I'm going to add the word 10, and instead of adding numbers, I'm going to go ahead and spell it out because he does have 10 spelling words. These type of ephemera are really fun to add into my Project Life spreads, and I really love looking back on them. Now I'm going to go ahead and see if I can find some embellishments for this card. I pulled out my yellow drawer of embellishments, and I found that yellow pencil, and it was the perfect size, and I think it is the perfect thing to add on here to his spelling test. So I'm going to go ahead and glue that on. Then I'm going to call this card done. I'm going to move on to this fun card that says blank plus blank equals. It's a card from the numbers kit, and I'm going to go ahead and put the numbers 6 and the number 9 because this is going to be a story about my husband wanting to make my daughter a bed. And so on the equal sign, I'm going to put the word bed. I couldn't figure out any other way to do it, so I thought the word bed would be just fine. Once I figured out exactly what I wanted to put on the card, I'm going to take them off now so that way I can put it through my printer and get my journaling on there, and then I'm going to go ahead and put the stickers back on once I'm done. This week I went ahead and saved all my journaling on these little 3x4 cards until I was ready to do them all, and so I just got them all done, and now they're ready to be embellished and finished off. So I'm going to go ahead and put my stickers back on of this numbers card here. And then I am going to switch around a couple of the photos and then of the cards. I had too many busy cards together and wanted to spread them out a little bit. So I think I have it all figured out better so it looks a little bit cleaner. This orange hashtag card is one of my favorites, and I went ahead and put a gold sticker on it that says brilliant, and then I'm going to add some black letters to spell out OJ, and on the bottom I have some journaling about how Maddie wanted to make some orange juice all by herself one day, so she looked up a recipe and squeezed all the oranges by herself. And as you can see, I have 2 photos of that event there. The last thing I want to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a silver star on this card that says Hello Memories. And on that card, I just put a few details about what was going on that week. And now I have the last piece of this week. And this is a scan I took of some plans that my husband had done for Caitlin's bed, and I just cropped it to 4x6 and then printed it off. And I also added some journaling on as well before I printed it. I have this chipboard piece that's a triangle and it says "this" on it. And I'm going to go ahead and put it on this card and wrap this week up. Okay, you guys, I'm all done with my week 6. I'm so happy how it turned out. Stay tuned for some photos. Thanks for coming, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.